a teepee in my woods, just that I don't sleep. I don't sleep until they all die. I'm in Kankakee, slide through every block, just a spot of up, ain't duty low. Tell me on city, where you claim is hot.
Yo, face. Show your face, please, with sugar on top.
Hey, what's up, y'all? Y'all know my slogan. I don't know it all, but I know what I've been through. Now, before we get into this video, make sure you check us out on Patreon at www.patreon.com/Hookah Anonymous _. You guys been telling us to create one for the longest, so we recently created a community where we will upload videos that we can't share on YouTube due to their guidelines, but we'll also be dropping the latest to there first, behind the scenes information that you wouldn't find anywhere else on our socials. So make sure you become a member, and after you do that, head over to our official Instagram page at Hookah Anonymous _ and follow us there. Now, without further ado, let's get into what you guys came here to see. Now, I don't know what it is with Kiddo, but it seemed like jail don't faze him, and he never wastes a minute to let it be known that he's not afraid of going back. Now, most people, when they do a bunch of time in jail, or even when it's short time, because the days in there go by like dog years, for the ones that did a stretch anywhere from 5 to 10 years or more, they usually come out pretty humble. Nope, not Kiddo. This is the second time the public has seen Kiddo get released from prison and return back to society, and both times we've gotten to see him act the same exact way upon release. Now, maybe he did learn his lesson, but decides to get on social media and act however he want, or maybe he really just don't get it. However it go, I was told by a CO himself, some people get it with a brick and some people get it with a feather. Basically, you either learn the easy way or you learn the hard way. Now, when 051 Kiddo first returned after doing 10.5 years in prison, he jumped back in the streets and started moving like it was 2011 all over again. He was dissing everybody and actually got a buzz doing it. Although rapping really wasn't his forte, he had the image and the name and started actually having somewhat of success on social media amongst the drill culture. We seen him go back and forth, notably with Tay Savage, as he was another one that came home around the same time as well. Most of us said that if Kiddo was able to just stay focused and not crash out, he should be good. However, it would all come crashing down on him, as the same energy he invited to himself, he would finally receive. Now, even though Kiddo was released, he was still on parole, therefore he still had guidelines that he had to follow. Whether it was curfew, not being able to travel without asking his PO for permission, not having firearms, and etc. It hasn't been confirmed what actually led to Kiddo's arrest back in February of 2024, but he was only out for a couple months before he was sent right back to jail for violating his parole. Now, according to reports in 2024, Kankakee County officers, in cooperation with the Illinois Department of Corrections Parole Division, KAMEG, Kankakee City Police POP Unit, and the Kankakee County Sheriff's Office conducted a sweep operation. Now, a warrant was given to search the home that 051 Kiddo was set to stay at on parole, and upon searching the home, firearms were found. Now, once again, when you are a felon or on parole period, you're not supposed to possess a firearm or even be in the same area as one in which he was. Therefore, Kiddo was hit with unlawful possession of deadly weapons and was sent back to prison. Many believe that Kiddo brought the heat upon himself due to the frequent dissing on social media and wide display of firearms on social media while he knew he was on parole and wasn't supposed to have them. And that's why we're here today, because he was recently released, and since he's been out, he's been clearing the air for people stating that the reason he went back to jail was because of the firearm that he displayed during his interview with FYB J Mane. Now, Kiddo is letting it be known that that isn't the reason. However, he never made it clear what actually was. Not only that, but Kiddo also came out and already wasted no time in dissing, as he already posted a snippet of a new song dissing Makadu, THFTP, and Duty Low. On top of the snippet, he took the time to diss Chicago blogger Trenches News for allegedly creating a false narrative and speaking on his name. And like I stated before, it seems like jail don't faze Kiddo, because every time he returns, he's back on the same type of time. Hopefully he learns before the next time the judge don't play with him and realize that he keeps coming back and forth, and decide to actually give him enough time where he'll have time to think and sit down and appreciate his freedom. Now, I don't know how he was able to only do a little over a year after being caught as a habitual criminal and possessing firearms while on parole, but as they say, the Chicago gun laws is just different. We're going to get into everything Kiddo had to say, as well as J Mane, who did some clearing up himself on the situation. In the meantime, make sure y'all hit that thumbs up button so we can get this video into the algorithm, and if you're not subscribed to the platform already, make sure you do so now. Let's get into it. Now, at first, I guess it was in a joking manner, but Kiddo would take to his IG story to address FYB J Mane and say, quote, "Hey J Mane, I miss you, brother, and I want you to know that we locked in, but you owe me, because I wouldn't have got locked up if we never did that interview at real FYB J Mane." J Mane would respond to that and say, quote, "My interview not the reason at 051 Kiddo got locked up. That's a false whoop. Stop inboxing me." Kiddo would later respond by saying, quote, "I want and need you all to understand that I enjoyed the skit with J Mane, and that's on facts. The firearm that was part of me and J Mane interview wasn't real. It was only for entertainment reasons and purposes. So now that it's clear, stop assuming everything real on the internet." Now, before we get into what he had to say about Trench's news, let me just say this. This is why people never know when to take these guys serious, because they pull stunts just like this. Let's be clear, most of these guys only get recognition because of the internet and social media. So if it wasn't for the internet or social media to keep these guys relevant, then most of us wouldn't even know who they are. So when you say things like don't believe everything you see on the internet, basically you're telling them not to trust you because they don't know whether you're being real or not. So with that being said, how am I even supposed to believe what you say in your music is real? Being that you don't have a problem doing or saying anything all for the sake of attention. And this is why things are weird now, because people don't know what's real and what's not, and they are confused. People got no problem saying or doing whatever on the internet, all for the sake of going viral and trying to get views or attention. They'll do whatever. Kiddo was literally on parole when he did that interview. So you mean to tell me that you was willing to jeopardize your freedom? Because I'm sure if we thought it was real, so did the police. So you was willing to jeopardize your freedom by appearing like you have a firearm, all for the sake of a viral moment. Crazy. But anyway, Kiddo says that the firearm during J Mane's interview wasn't real. It wasn't the reason he got jammed up, but I personally believe that it definitely played a part. Why else would Parole decide to target him during a sweep to check for firearms? What gave them a motive? Out of everyone that's on parole in Chicago, what made them decide to target you and no one else? But if he says it wasn't the reason, then it wasn't the reason. Now, aside from that, Kiddo would send a message to Chicago blogger Trench's News, as he would repost a picture of him and caption it in his story, saying, quote, "Look at this rat, Trench's News, giving out all false information. But I know the world ended if the world considered this rat's word valuable." And there you have it. So it looks like Kiddo came back out on the same time. Hopefully this time he has success within the music and go further with it without risking his freedom. I'm not sure if he's off parole, but if he's not, they have to be very careful because I'm sure they probably got a target on his back. But anyway, y'all jump in the comments and let me know what y'all think about this. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Hit that bell so you're notified every time we drop new content. And remember, as long as you keep on watching, I'ma keep on dropping. And I'm out.